What is going on, everyone? We are here for week 10 of the Porsche Cup Fixed Track Guide series. This week we're at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, or Montreal, as other people know it or refer to it as. So it's going to be a pretty unique track with the Porsche Cup car. Obviously lots of chicanes, a few tight corners with the hairpins, especially sector 1 as well, like trying to get it through turns 1, 2 and 3, like really getting it to dive into the apex and sit right so we can rotate the car. So thanks to everybody that's been tuning into the YouTube each week and subscribing, liking the videos, reacting to them, commenting, letting us know how you guys are going. Really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, so let's get into week 10 of the Porsche Cup Track Guide at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Alright guys, so now we'll break down the lap. So as you're coming down into turn 1, you take this little kink, right, and then you want to be making sure that you're braking at the start of this little escape road here. So you've sort of squared the car up as quick as possible as you come through that little kink, and then you want to get the car to start braking. You want to get the car back to second gear. And then I'm using... It's just before the last escape road. So see how we've got this last little one just before the one. I'm sort of turning the car just as we get to the start of the escape road here. Lots of curb here to help the car rotate. The car doesn't like the curb that much, but you have to use it to help rotate the car. Then once you come off that curb, you want to diagonal the car across to this one here. So I do find that I sort of drive the car in a little bit deeper here, and then I get myself to about this point here. So I'm in line with the blue cone. I'm not over the white line for the pit blend line, but I'm right near it. And then from that point there, I can pick the throttle up. The car's going to dance off the center of the corner a little bit, and you're going to start to aim towards the outside of the track on the left-hand side. Use all the curb on the exit up to 4th, and you're looking for the blend between the white wall and the Napa sign starting. So I'll just move forward to the point where it is. So right at this point here. Hang on. Right at this point here, you'll see there's the blend line. So you want the front of the car to be at the blue start of the wall. Nice big brake pressure. 4th gear back to 3rd. Turn in wise. There's no real marker, but I'm sort of finding this point here. So if that's I guess the way I look at it is right before the blue wall disappears into the bezel of my middle monitor heading towards my right hand monitor, that's when I start to turn the car. So right at this point here, turn the car, 2 tyres over the curb in third. Now getting the car to straight line and then be able to pick the throttle up here is the challenging bit. So you want to get the car in on the curb, but you don't want to hit the actual curb until you're at this sort of point here. So I kind of line up with the second smudge on the fence from people rubbing the wall, and then I feel like if I can like get in line with that and then clip the apex there, I tend to be able to carry a lot more speed out of the corner without hitting the wall too hard or barely nicking it. So from this point here up to fourth, you want to sort of dance on the car through here. You'd be surprised at how much throttle you can actually carry. You've got to stay close to the wall butt. So hug the wall through the corner, dance on that throttle, trying to build that speed up. The car's going to slide to about mid-track. And then, weirdly, we're using the brake marker on the inside of the track for this one. So see that little orange coping on the end of the Armco barrier? That is roughly, it's slightly just after it, but that's my brake marker. So in other cars, I do tend to use the blend between the wall and the Armco barrier on the right hand side up there, but just with the Porsche Cup, and it's sort of prone to locking fronts and locking brakes, or locking wheels, sorry. I do tend to brake just a little bit earlier here, and I want to use the car on the curb to help rotate it. So different markers for different cars. Definitely a GT style car, I would be looking more towards the concrete wall into the Armco on the right hand side up there. But yeah, for the Porsche Cup, same with the NASCAR, we sort of bring the marker back a little bit and focus more on this orange one on this side. So come in, fourth gear, back to second. Now I turn in at the start of this bus stop here, on the right hand side behind the fence. So that's my turn-in point from there. I turn the car in at the corner. I get 2 tyres right in up over the curb. Use all that track. Now, I want to try and set myself in line with the curb or the orange little barrier behind. And then from that point there, I sort of hug the car around here, dance on the throttle a little bit, and then really start to pick it up to third. Let the car track right to the edge of the road. Up to fourth. Up to fifth. And now you're setting yourself up for the next chicane. So this one's a real challenging one. So I'm sort of, again, I'm using the Armco barrier on the inside here. So let me just flick across to the middle again. When I can find the button. Alright, so right here you'll see I'm using the orange Armco again. And then that's a nice big brake pressure. Fifth gear. I'm using second here. You can use third, but I feel just a little bit more comfortable with second. I'm able to help get the car to rotate a little bit more. I turn in once I get to the end of this little concrete patch where the grass starts, so really early. As I turn the car in, I want to get the 2 right-hand tyres on the white part of the curb, so right at the back. So the car does tend to float through here, but I just find it helps with rotation. And then I short shift to third once I come off that curb. Now I hug this curb tight here through, sort of dancing on the throttle, trying to build pressure without running it wide. Run the car right out to the fence line. Up to fourth. Up to fifth. I stay on the outside of the circuit around here until I get to this point here under the sign. Then I start to twist the car towards the left-hand side of the track. And then once I'm in line, straight, and I'm braking at the... I wouldn't say it's at the start of this escape road, but it's very early on in the piece. So I would say it's probably once the rear of the car gets to the escape road. Nice big brake pressure. I'm using first gear here, so all the way back to first gear. I don't have a turn-in marker to start with. I guess you could use the 1 board or the 10 board on the fence, or you could use this. See the little bit of bitumen that comes out just behind the white line here. You could use that bit there, so that might be nice as well. Get the car to rotate in. but I don't want to hit that apex until I'm in line with this little tree shrub thing here. Because if I can clip it there, then I can pick the throttle up straight away. The car's going to step wide, but you'll be able to pick the throttle up, carry the speed down, and hook it down the long back straight. You want to make sure you get that drive out of the corner, because this is where it's going to be crucial. So up through all the gears, up to 6th gear. Alright, and then as you get to the big Dodge Bridge sign, I'm braking very early here. So I'm braking at the end of this little bit of concrete here, the start of the grass. So huge brake pressure. You could probably push the car a little tiny bit forward to this point here if you're really brave and on a quali lap maybe, but I'm finding for myself personally I've got to just get the car stopped a little bit earlier here to really focus on that drive out. So from that point there, 6th gear back to 3rd gear in the braking zone. Now turn-in for this point here is, you see this little pole here, it's like a little light. I'm turning it, it's between that and the 1 board. So I'm turning at the corner quite early here. So once I get to that point, so the 3, I start to turn the car at, the 1, sorry, I start to turn the car at the corner. I use a lot of curb on the inside here to rotate the car in. And then once I come off that one, I sort of aim for the middle of the barrier. And then I clip the curb on the inside here. I want to aim for the 14, let the car run right out to the edge of the road, carry all that speed, and bomb it down to the start-finish line to start the next lap. And there you go, guys. That is your walkthrough lap of Circuit Charles Villeneuve in the Porsche Cup car for Week 10's track guide. I hope this helps you guys. Good luck for this week's racing, and we will see you next week for Week 11. Thank you.